following video tutorial will take you through setting up an item for QNet. Most of what your client will see online is directly controlled from what's in item maintenance. We will take a look at how what we change in item maintenance affects what we see online. To start, click on Item Maintenance and pull up your client. This will pull up a list of all the items that are under this client in the database. In the Notes column, you can see which items are set up for QNet with a QN, which items have images attached to them with an IMG, and which items are inventory items, say stock. I'm going to go ahead and add a new item. I'm going to start with my item ID. I'm going to do a t-shirt. I then have two description lines that will also show on QNet, but you only need to put something in the first description line if you wish. I'm also going to tell the system that the item is a non-stock item. The product group will not display on QNet, but is required by the system. Next, I want to update my issue units, and although only the third one, which is the sell issue unit, will display on QNet, I'm going to change all of these so that they match. Next, on tab number 3, I'm going to tell the system who the default vendor is. This will also not display on QNet, but I'm going to tell it a category, and the category will display on QNet and will break down each item so that the customer can search for them more easily. You can choose any existing category you wish, but if you do not see a category that fits your needs, you can always add a new one. Next, I'm going to go to tab number 5, which is the Prices tab. Here I'm going to put in my latest client price, which is the sell price that they'll see online. I can also put in my unit cost that's associated with the vendor that I put in tab number 3, or I can wait and put that in when I enter my purchase order. Next, I'm going to skip all the way over to the last tab, which is the Attributes tab. An attribute is a way to further describe the item. For the example of a t-shirt, this would be the color and the size that the shirt that they want to order. I click Add Attribute. First I say the name, so I'm going to do sizes first. Then I can enter in all of the values by adding them one at a time. I can also make an attribute have an additional cost and sell. The best example here is that an extra large shirt may cost and sell an additional $2. Once I'm done entering all of my values, I click Exit, and then I save the attribute. Then I'm ready to add my next attribute, which would be color. Once again, I add all of my values. And when I'm finished, I close there and then save the attribute again. The other thing on this tab are custom fields that you can set up for an item. A custom field is one where you tell the person the name and then they enter the value, anything they want, rather than the attribute which they choose their value from a drop-down field. Here I'm going to have them enter their name, and then I can designate how many characters I will allow. I can also designate whether or not this field is required or optional. Next, I'm going to finish up the setup by clicking on the QNet button and earning a few more options here. In the first tab, I want to make sure that I have it set to upload to the internet as a standard item. And if this is set up as a retail client, which this one is, I also want to make sure I check retail item. Next, on the description tab, I can enter in a longer description that will display when the item is selected in QNet. To get the images uploaded, you can send them to support@theampersandgroup.com and we can attach them for you. Please make sure that your item file name is the same as your item ID. So in this case, I would want my file name to be simply t-shirt. Once I've made all my changes and I save them, then I'm ready to export what I've done to the internet. Until I do the export, any changes I make within Quantum will not take effect online. I go to Export Internet Data, remove any unchanged clients, and then export my client. When the processing is done, then I can log on to my client and check and see my progress. Once I've logged into QNet, I can click on the client's custom catalog to see all of their items. On the left side here, I see all of the categories that I've chosen. I put my item under the wearables category. Here I see all the other items that are under the same category, and then the item that I have just created. This item does not yet have an image, but can be uploaded later. If I select the item, it will then give me the option to fill out my two attributes and my custom field. Here I can also see my long internet description that I put in the system. First I choose my size. Here's where it shows the additional $2 that I designated for the extra large. I can then designate my color, and then fill in my name. I then enter my quantity and add it to the cart. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. If you have any questions, please contact the Ampersand Group support team by emailing support@theampersandgroup.com or calling 330-379-0044.